I'm Roshonda Clark. I'm 40 years old. Um, March of 2022, I was diagnosed with, at first they thought stage 3 rectal cancer, but it ended up being stage 4. Um, I'm a ostomy warrior, and I have a 15-year-old son, and I love doing things with him, and also love to make TikToks. I was having blood in my poop, in my stool, um, for a while. When I can remember, when I realized it was in 2021, earlier part of the year. And also, it felt like I wasn't using the bathroom all the way sometimes. I was working at my job that I had for 14 years. So I had insurance with them. So I had um, my regular family practice doctor. I went to them and explained to them what was going on. And the lady was like, you young, because I was like 36 or something like that. You young, it sounds like an internal hemorrhoid. Get some preparation H and use that. So that's what I did for some months. I noticed after having like intercourse, and I go use the bathroom, I go to wipe and it be blood on the toilet paper. So I was like, that's weird. And so at that time, my job was about to close, and going through that and stuff, it prolonged me to go back to the doctor because I was preoccupied with all this other stuff. The end of September was when my job closed, and getting unemployment and all that type stuff. So the doctor that I had at first, I couldn't go to them no more because they only took work insurance, and I was getting Medicaid. So I switched my doctor to Baptist Health or whatever under Medicaid. And then, like in January of 2022, um, I was having sexual relations again, and but this time, like, it felt like gas, like I had gas or whatever. So I was gonna release the gas, but it was some other stuff coming out of my bottom. So I go to look, and it was like solid red, and I almost passed out. I was like, what is this? So that's what made me make an appointment with the Baptist Health doctor, uh, to let her know again, like, what's going on and what didn't happen up to then. I let her know all that, starting out with the blood in the stool, and I went to the other doctor and they told me the preparation H or whatever. And during sexual intercourse, it's my bottom's bleeding. So she thought that was weird. So she was like, she's gonna do me a anal strip test to check to see if it's blood detected at the entrance of the anal. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So she did that, and it came back negative. So she was like, well, it got to be something higher up. So I'm going to send you to get a colonoscopy. I wakes up, uh, family, focus. And they tell you right then and there that they told me that I had 3 polyps that they took off, and they was going to send that to get diagnosed. But also they found a mass on my rectal, and he told me that even when he put his finger like in there, he could feel it. And yeah, that's when they told me that I had cancer, rectal cancer, and the walls closed in, tears rolling. I wasn't thinking about cancer at all, like, and I just felt sad. I felt disappointed because I know I went to the other doctor and they didn't even try to check me or anything. But I was more of just sad because when you hear counsel, it just already makes you sad. And yeah, I was just very sad at that moment. And I knew, my kid flashed in my head, my family, because we like close family and stuff, and my friends, we all close. So Yeah, sad moment. First, I met my team because you have a team from your my surgeon, my radiation doctor, my oncologist, another nurse, and I believe I think it's four of them. But they I had to do radiation first, radiation and the chemo pills. I had to do that for 6 weeks, 5 days a week. My radiation was only like 10 minutes uh, each time, and the chemo pills I had to take seven of them, like three in the morning and four at night. At first, I was feeling cause too what they were saying, with me being younger, they like had it, I guess, up higher, the zapping or whatever. So it kind of made my booty hole tender. And once I told them, they gave me like some cream, and they took it down a notch or whatever with the zapping. But I was good for like 4 weeks with the radiation. They also not only did they radiate the rectal, they radiated like some of my pelvis area too, because they said that sometimes cancer can be like up in the creases or something in your pelvis area. So I got that uh, done also. But I was, like I said, I was fine, and like during the week I would just be home. And also I want to mention, because I said earlier that my job of 14 years closed down in September, so I was getting the unemployment and switched doctors, all that type stuff. So April is when my unemployment ran out, but in March is when I found out I had cancer, so it made it even more worse for me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, what new job can I start, that something that I want to with pay wise? And I got all these doctor's appointments. So I had to think about that type of stuff too. But luckily I had my mom. She stayed here and helped with my bills. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. I let my mom and my friends know, all the time. Even though, like, cause when I worked and stuff, for my mom now and like for my family, I was the main person who people went to for stuff, even when I didn't want them to come to me. And I also used to help. I was taking care of raising my nephew from the age of 5 to 13. In February of 2021, his the courts gave his mom guardianship. Um, so he wanted to, once school ended, he wanted to go live with his mom and all that type of stuff. So I was also going through that too. A child that I done raised for 13 years, but I was like, once you've been doing so much and take care of other people and stuff, then I think before I found out I had the cancer, like God was shifting stuff around for me to just focus on myself and my child. Cause it used to be, my nephew and my niece up in here and my son. But then when I found out the cancer, I just had my son here, you know. So hey, so it goes my for I'm very thankful. My granny helped out too, and that's on down the story too and stuff. So I'm very thankful because I know a lot of people don't have support like that. And even though I was going through, what kept me positive was, I used to always tell myself it can always be worse. Like I didn't have a job, I didn't have no income, but I had more money than some people who was working. Like, I'm not homeless and stuff. I got food. Even though the government people, they like their here go programs, they'll help you with your rent. I was like, man, when people really, you have nothing wrong for people getting government assistance and stuff or whatever, because I always work, I don't really understand. But when I really need it for something like this, I couldn't get no help. Or like community action, they help people pay their electric bills and stuff. They helped me one time out of a whole year. So I was like, my mama was like, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? She paid everything. So I'm very grateful, and I thank God for my mom. After the chemo, and mine was real low. My counsel was at the bottom of the rectal, sitting on the anal. So they checked me again, and they talked to me, my surgeon and my oncologist at the beginning before I did like the radiation. He told me, that I knew the cancer was low, but I wasn't thinking it was that low. But he told me that I would have to wear a colostomy bag, and I was like, yeah, right, like whatever and stuff. But months later, I go to my surgeon, and she's like, well, Roshonda, I got that recorded too. The day that we went in there for that, and they told me that it's real low, sitting on the anal. She was like, pretty much I could chance it. They could just take the rectal, and I keep the anal, but it's so low, it might have cancer pieces in the creases of the anal where they can't see until it starts to grow. She was like, so do you want to chance it and possibly have to go through this again, or in on top of it might come back stronger, or you could get your rectal and anal taken out and you should be good. And I was like, give me the tissue because I'm crying some more. I was like, what other choice do I have? I won't chance nothing. So I was like, take them both and I'll figure it out. I was stressed out a lot. I was stressed out a lot. So, and I was supposed to have my surgery. Ooh, I was out partying. I was making sure I was doing all type of stuff. I was like trying to be regular and stuff or whatever. And then like maybe 2 days before my surgery, my surgeon called and told me she done broke her ankle. I said, look at God. This is November. She done broke her ankle. She's gonna be out for some months. She probably can't get to me till January, but she don't want to do that. She want to go ahead and get it out now. So she recommended her colleague, and they rescheduled my surgery to November the 14th. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I got another week or two to be regular. Before I had my surgery, though, since I knew I was going to have the colostomy for the rest of my life, I decided to join a group. I joined the ostomy and support group on Facebook just to see what they talking about and all that type stuff, and come find out, because I don't know nobody with no colostomy bag and stuff. And I'm the only one in my family with one. So it was nice to see, different people with illnostomy, ultra ostomies, and girl, all type of stuff. And it ain't they don't get them bigs or whatever from just cancer. It's just all different type of stuff. So I'm thankful for my support group people too. But with my surgery, they did a robotic abdominal girl thing. I tolerate with pain pretty well, a lot of pain. But when they told me, that I was gonna have in the group, they call it a Barbie butt because they sew up your bottom. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm a Barbie doll. All right. I thought that they was just gonna sew up the booty hole part, girl. They cut your whole crack down and sew it back up. It's terrible. It's uncomfortable. I couldn't sit for over a month. Couldn't drive. You can lay, and then I got this bag on my stomach, so I can't lay on my stomach. Gotta lay on your side. It was so uncomfortable. And then I'm telling my doctors, I'm like, y'all need to up this pain medicine. But they like, oh, Roshonda, you doing great. Nah, I'm about to. No, I'm not doing great, man. I'm about to take 10 of these pills if y'all don't up his dosage for real. But I understand where they was coming from because they don't want people to become addictive and stuff. But which I'm not gonna become addicted. I'm telling y'all, this pain is no joke and stuff. But I made it through. I started to tell my story on TikTok and on Facebook and stuff, and try to get the awareness of colorectal cancer out there. And for real, with like black people and stuff, is one of the highest numbers of getting colorectal cancer. But just for help people get checked and stuff. So before I had my surgery, though, I ran across one of my friends on TikTok, and she gospel music kept me out too. Listen to my, I be in here crying by myself or whatever, and say my prayers and all that type of stuff. And so I did a TikTok by with this gospel song, and it was saying like, "Here I am, Lord, arms wide open." Like all my stress, I'm gonna just give it to you. I don't want to worry about this stuff because this is gonna be my life. So I need to just get with the program. You know what I'm saying? And the day of my surgery, I woke up. I wasn't stressed. It was quite strange because I was freaking out all them other weeks. But yeah, I let it go, and I gave it to God. And ever since then, I have my days or whatever. But it could always be worse. So I just learned like the when getting the colostomy bag, your ostomy nurse, they tell you like to use certain paste and powders and all that type stuff. But for real, you just gotta pay attention to your body. Cause with using all the extra stuff they told me about, it was irritating my skin. So I just could put the bag on my skin, regular without using all that extra stuff. After getting a colostomy, you be in the house for so long. When it's time, it makes you have anxiety, like, or nervous about being out in public. And like people in my group, some people still have problems with that. Cause you don't to you think you might smell like the bag or whatever. And I remember the first time I went to my doctor's appointment after my surgery, my mom was with me. I was like, I think I smell my bag. She was like, girl, you tripping. I was like, I smell it, but it's in my head. It was my head. At that moment, it was in my head. But as time go on, sometimes sometimes the wafer don't stick on right, or the bag might have a little tear in it. But you will know if you pass gas in your bag and you smelling regular poop smell. You should know that something is not right, and I just be on it. June 2nd of 2023 was my surgery date. Before my surgery date, I get an email for the job that I've been trying to get, saying that my start date was May the 31st, and I couldn't take it. Now, out of all throughout the following year or whatever, I have my moments, but I kept it positive. But when I got that email and I knew I couldn't take that job that I've been, wanting to get into, the pay was nice and stuff. And now I got to turn back around and do its stuff with the council. Hey, when I tell you I was mad at God, I was mad at everybody. Girl, hey, just thinking about it makes me, I was so irritated because I'm like, man, I keep on being positive. They say be positive, be strong, be positive. But I'm like, every time I turn around, I keep getting smacked in the face. I told them I couldn't accept it, and the reason why. So a couple weeks later, she hit me up. She was like, "Are you able to work by the end of July?" And I was like, "Of course." If they pull my name out of the hiring pool or whatever. So next thing I know, I end up taking my granny to the emergency room one day, and I was about to go on Indeed, and I was like, let me find me a part time or something till or whatever, because you go not have no money. You work for 14 years, don't have no money. You work a little bit, get a little bit money. They you don't work no more. So I'm my finances keep on going up and down and stuff. So um and when I was sitting there, and next thing I know, the woman hit me up again. She was like, "Congratulations, your start date is August 2nd. Are you able to start that date?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am, I'll be there." Every day I'm on survival mode. And too, like with that, even though everything's good, it always been your mind that it could always come back, possibility. But even though I done told like my family now and stuff, and I did a TikTok not too long ago, talking about, with being working so long, that hey, I'm just living day by day, and whatever comes in the future, I'm gonna be ready for it. But just know that I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the past. Don't be too hard on yourself. You can get into your own mind like a lot deep, and it's okay. You not feeling good, it's okay. You emotional, it's okay. You angry, it's okay. You bitter, it's okay. But the only thing, don't stay there, cuz anger takes more of you, like I want to produce love, you know what I'm saying? uh Happiness, smile. Even though I might be sad or whatever, but you gonna get a smile out of me, because any cancer patient or a lot of people's stories, it isn't about smiling. But I'm gonna smile even though I'm telling you I done been through some things, because have faith.